We are ready to defend these trio tag team belts for whomever may want to challenge top tier.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Bonjour, you're watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. My name is tktrinidad, and we had an amazing show, and of course, nothing but amazing guests. They are still the current WOW Trios champions, members of Top Tier. Please welcome WOW superheroes, Krush and Coach Campanelli. How are you guys doing?
Excellent. We're doing great. Great as always. Greatness only.
So we're back. I think it's been a couple months since I spoke to you guys last. But what is it like? It's kind of almost, I feel like it's almost like being in a relationship. So Top Tier has been together for a couple of months now. So what is it like being, Top Tier?
Oh, it always is
great. It is always great. I mean, the training isn't always easy. It never is, to be honest. Coach has had us in training camp. The training never stops. That's one of Coach's tips and one of her daily reminders to us. The job is never finished. So we're constantly elevating. You're going to see that starting season 3 this weekend. September 14th is our debut of that season. And we're going to start off with a bang with Top Tier, of course. And we have a big announcement for that. Coach, you want to take it away?
Yes. Well, not only are we still the Trio Tag Team Tournament champs, but finally, David McLean is listening to Coach. And we are debuting the first ever WOW World Trio Tag Team Championship belts.
Let's go!
So congratulations. So that kind of leads into my question. So he's debuting the belts. So can we assume you guys will be the holder of the belts, or is he going to have a competition to see who is going to be the first?
Oh, no. These belts are made for Top Tier. Okay. Finally, we are being recognized in championship title form as the greatest team in all of professional wrestling. I mean, we won the Trio Tournament Cup, and we maintained that, even though it wasn't meant to be put up for as a challenge, as a prize. Mm-hmm. We still did because, Team Spirit took issue with the way that we won it, and maybe some other people did as well. But we maintained the trophy. And we still have the trophy. It is living in its permanent home in Coach's trophy collection. But we finally have leveled up and been recognized for our achievements and our talent. And we are ready
to defend.
And our greatness. We are ready to defend these trio tag team belts for whomever may want to challenge Top Tier.
Yeah, TK, it's offensive to even question that if they were going to belong to us or anybody else. I just have to say that, call it like it is. The belts are at home with us. They were made for us, like Coach said, and they look great on us, by the way. The greatest team in all professional wrestling deserves nothing less than the greatest belts in all professional wrestling. So if you watch the season premiere, you're going to see those belts. They can't be rivaled. We can't be rivaled. So we'll defend them anytime, any place, against anybody. There is no well-oiled machine like Top Tier. So, like I always say, let's go.
Okay, first off, I don't want no smoke. I was just double checking because, sometimes, being an avid fan of WOW, sometimes David has some shenanigans that happen. You think one thing and then it gets swerved. So if anything, I was just looking out for you guys to make sure. Because, you might get there.
Okay.
That you're getting the belt. And then it's like, no, there's a whole. So I'm just double checking, as if like I was, a representative for Top Tier. Like just checking for you. So
I'll accept that. We'll accept that. We'll accept the support. Greatness, recognize greatness. We'll take that. Thank you.
I'll warn you about Krush too. Sometimes she can be a little unhinged. So
no, not a problem at all. So you guys.
I am at one.
You guys did mention it. Season 3 is upon us. So what can we look forward to in season 3?
Oh, season 3. I mean, WOW is just leveling up constantly. We're just on an upward trajectory, not only Top Tier, but WOW as a company. Mm-hmm. And we have some really exciting things too. We're debuting a new stage. We have a whole new look for WOW. Mm-hmm. The wrestling has never been better. Honestly, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, finally there's a stage and bright lights as bright and beautiful as we are. And so you're going to see our greatness enter out on that stage in front of the WoW fans that are always lit, always giving us their 100% as they should. And, you know, you can watch it anywhere in the world. Go to wowie.com, type in your zip code to see what channel you can watch it in your neck of the woods. But everybody should be watching this season because we're leveling up, like Coach said, in every facet of the sport.
And another thing that's going to be happening as well is that you have a WoW channel on Pluto TV dedicated to all things WoW. So now you're going to get seasons 1, 2, you're going to get the new season 3, but some original programming. You know, I don't know if you can give away a little bit, but is there anything that we can look forward to in original programming or anything that you guys know about this app?
We have a couple documentaries about some of our wrestlers, our lead trainer and creative director, Selena Majors. So that has aired on Pluto TV, and I'm sure that will be on the channel as well. But yeah, you can catch season 1 and 2, and then once season 3 starts airing, I'm not sure exactly when, but that'll start airing on there as well. So, you know, there's no excuse to not watch WoW and not watch Top Tier. If you want it, you can see it.
So now, I
That's
mean,
right.
we get to see what you guys do in the ring as far as being top tier, but what do you guys do? And also you guys, you know, made mention of it. You guys work out in order to be top tier, but what do you guys do for fun? What's an off day for Krush and Coach Campanelli?
Work, training.
There are no off days. There is no off season. That's why we're top tier. We're the greatest. That's why.
You can never be complacent. And like Krush said, training is never easy because it wouldn't be worth doing if it were easy. Nothing easy, nothing worthwhile comes easy. So,
okay.
And also, you know, we have another phrase in top tier, and that is we don't get tired, we get hungry. And so we just get hungrier and hungrier for more and more, you know, just feeding the beast, so to speak, not the actual beast, which, by the way, she will be back in full force for season 3. So if you want to catch her powerhouse wrestling skills, you can catch her coming up this season too.
Yeah, that's the thing with Beast and the whole title, the whole situation going on with that. But with that being said, now we have 3 titles for WoW. So can you tell me as far as the game plan? Are you guys going to just, you know, stay in the trios dominance page, or are you guys looking at tag teams and also the World Championship?
Well, per our contract for top tier, we have to listen to Coach. She's the only one who can choose when and who we wrestle. So she's the one who speaks to David McLean on our behalf. But I don't see why top tier wouldn't hold all the belts at the same time in the future. We are the greatest team in all professional wrestling. So it's draft season every season for top tier. So we'll hold all 6 belts one day when Coach decides that it's time.
Yep. I mean, you know, right now I'm ready to establish and reconfirm to everybody why we are the greatest team in all professional wrestling and make sure people know that not only do we deserve, but we were born to hold these trio tag team championship belts. So I want to establish us in the trios as the marker for trio tag team wrestling. But, you know, that's not to say that the tag belts and the singles belt won't be in our future because, you know, just a reminder for those of you who might have been living under a rock, top tier is comprised of myself, Coach Campanelli, the coach of WoW, the coach of top tier, the coach of life. Candy Krush, the heavy hitter of WoW, the CEO of Let's Go, the brawn of our group. And Gloria Glitter, the queen of cardio. She is unparalleled, unmatched. You cannot sweat with her because she never stops moving, which is why she's not here right now. She can't sit still, you know.
Okay.
But I formed top tier because not only do I want a strong team that I can trust to follow my instruction and be capable of the levels that I'm pushing them toward, but I also want to trust them as individuals. I need to trust them in the ring as much as myself, which is not an easy task. And I have a well-oiled machine with top tier. So I believe that I could trust maybe in the future one of them, both of them, in any combination, the three of us could be belt holders in any division.
Okay. So with that being said, actually perfect segue, Coach. So you had a match with Jay Boogie, and you've been having matches. Each individual member of Top Tier has been having individual matches. Is that a form of scouting? And the reason I ask is it seems like the next and not above you guys, but the next dominant kind of faction would be Lana Starr's faction, right? So kind of the more people, the better, as far as everybody who's believing in the dream. So have you guys been scouting different WoW superheroes to add to Top Tier?
Well, the Fab Four certainly is loud and they do talk a lot, but I will say that, as a coach, it's always important to make sure that you and your team don't get complacent. I'm always evaluating my team and evaluating them not only for training purposes, but to make sure that they are living up to my expectations. And as you know, I'm not afraid to make changes to a team, both in addition and subtraction, mixing it up entirely. As of right now, I'm happy with how Top Tier is operating, but, anytime you wrestle me is an opportunity to impress me. So I'm not going to say no if I feel like the talent is there to add to Top Tier, but as of right now, I feel like I have the best talent on the roster. And, like I said, anytime you wrestle me or Top Tier, that's an opportunity to impress. We do have a lot of very talented people on the roster, and now that we have championship titles, I feel like we'll get a lot more challengers coming up to Top Tier. So I am excited to see the talent and the wrestling capabilities that will be brought to Top Tier to challenge us, because we're always improving too. And healthy competition is trying to better yourselves in relationship to each other. So,
but I do have one thing to add on the Fab Four tip. It's not always a numbers game. Sometimes, and a lot of the times, it's quality over quantity, and Top Tier is pure quality. Top tier quality. So we don't need 4 to get the job done necessarily. If coach decides one day that we do want to add somebody, it will be for a specific reason, but it's not necessary right now. She has the top 2 athletes in WoW under her tutelage, and we hold those belts without an extra enforcer or anything like that. So we're getting the job done. Why fix perfect?
All right. And you guys had quite a few matches with Ariel Sky. Is it safe to assume the beef is over, or is there some other things that need to be handled as far as you guys and Ariel Sky?
Listen, I've washed my hands of Ariel Sky. She's the one who keeps coming back after us. So that is, kind of balls in her court a little bit. But I've turned my sights onto season 3. I've turned my sights onto the Trio Tag Team Championship belts. And I'm excited to see what other talent we have that I want to challenge Top Tier. I like to diversify my skill as much as possible. So I learn from everyone that I wrestle, and I'm excited to see who wants to challenge us.
Yeah, and we're not going to get stuck on one person on the roster. We're not stupid. There's a whole roster full of greatness. So we're going to make sure that we have everybody in our sights. Coach makes us study a lot of tape. So we know a lot of everybody's secrets and their little tricks they've got up their sleeve. So we're not going to fall for them in season 3. All we're going to do is continue to defend those belts and keep winning like the top team that we are.
And then last question before we get out of here. So, you guys will be holding the trios title belts. With that being said, you're going to have some people who are tag teams or individual folks who would come together to kind of challenge you. How do you either 1, prepare for that, and then 2, do you actually take them seriously? Because it's one thing if you come together as a legitimate team. It's another thing. It's like, oh yeah, here's a superhero here, here's a superhero there, and now they're challenging you as if, okay, well, we're not in the picture for this, but we're going to try go for that. Do you guys take them seriously, or how do you prep for that?
Well, as confident as we are, I like to say, never underestimate your opponent. I mean, I think it is important to take everybody seriously because, like Krush said, I make them, and we all, Top Tier, watch a lot of tape because wrestling is just as much mental as it is physical. and it's really important to know your opponent. So if you're already an established tag team, that's well and good, because we can watch you as a trio tag team and we can see how they function with each other, you know, sort of their dynamic. It's almost, in a way, harder to wrestle people who are coming together because they're friends or they have some kind of alliance or a vendetta against us. And, you know, if they've never wrestled as a trio tag team before, then it's difficult to sort of get a sense of how they're going to interact with each other, you know, how they tag in and out, what they might try to attempt in terms of tag moves, things like that on us. And, you know, I can go in with a strategy, we can go in with a game plan, but once you're in the ring, you can't take a time out, you know? So you got to adjust on the fly, kind of know what you have in your arsenal for your team, rely on how your team functions with each other and try to get up on top of them. So that being said, whether it's a tag team with a third, 3 individuals coming together for the first time, or a well-established trio tag team, they've all got their challenges when you wrestle against them. And, you know, WoW has some of the most talented wrestlers in the world, so that's why I choose to be here.
Yeah, and look, we already know that we've got targets on our back. We've had targets on our back since we stepped onto the WoW stage, because Coach and I happen to both have a background of greatness. So it's only, you know, it was only natural for us to become champions one day. And it was just a matter of time. And now that we are, the target's just gotten even bigger. The entire roster wants those belts, the most beautiful belts in wrestling. And they're all coming for us, and we'll be ready for all of them. Like Coach said, we're not going to underestimate them. You know, we're going to stay on our toes in the ring, but you can't top greatness. So we're going to fight them all, and we're going to beat them all. And at the end of the day, we're still going to be the trio champions.
Boom, there it is. I think that's the perfect way to end. You know, we're heading into season 3, September 14th. With that being said, where can everybody find you guys?
You can follow follow WoW Women of Wrestling at WoW Superheroes on Instagram and X. You can follow me at Coach Campanelli _WoW on Instagram. That's CAMPANELLI, or at Coach Campanelli on X.
He's got a long, hard last name. I am at Candy Crush _WoW on both Instagram and X. That's Candy Crush with 2 Ks. And also, if you're wondering where to watch WoW, which if you don't know already, you better get on that. We don't know what rock you've been hiding under, but you can go to wowe.com, type in your zip code, find out where we are near you. We're everywhere, by the way. We're global. We're worldwide, baby. So wherever you are, we are. Go find us.
There it is. Well, thank you, Krush, and thank you, Coach Campanelli. Thank you, guys. My name is TK Trinidad. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Ciao.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.